They've blown through so many of the backstops already. We need to have one of them catch. I mean, we have to have one of them catch. So let's hope it's this one. Let's hope it's this one.
Yay, founding fathers. Yay, dead white people. Yay, dead white people.
They who are turning in their graves right now saying, what are these fuckers doing?
Who wants a chippy?
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. We ain't no senator's son. It's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel, 50-year mortgage Cheeseman.
This is Chad, Velvet Handcuff Sowash.
And on this episode of HR's most dangerous podcast, Personio packs it in, Indeed hopes to cash in, and everyone is apparently dining in, as in dining at home, not at Chipotle.
Oh my God, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
Let's do this!
Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Vetty Betty. From Vetty, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man, keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Vetty makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Vetty, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Vetty. Hiring as it should be. Visit vetty.co to learn more.
It's fucking cold outside, dude. This is ridiculous.
It's cold out. It's cold out. So we're recording this on Veterans Day.
Yep.
And I know you're kind of you don't love it. Like you don't love the Happy Veterans Day. You'd rather have someone buy you a beer. We've had that conversation. Maybe you forgot. But at Jeremy's school today, they had a big Veterans Day presentation. And
cool.
This morning I said, you got to go wear something red, white, and blue. It's Veterans Day.
Oh, cool.
And Jeremy's idea of red, white, and blue is a Man City jersey that just happens to be red, white, and blue. Moderately red and white, but a lot of blue in it.
Kill it.
And then he asked me if we had India veterans in our family, and I mentioned the ones that I knew of, and I mentioned you because you're Uncle Chad to all my kids, and he said, "Tell Chad Happy Veterans Day." So hopefully, an 8-year-old can wish you Happy Veterans Day, if not, grown adults.
Well thought out, little guy. Well thought out. Happy Veterans Day, Chad. Yeah. I mean, Veterans Day. We've talked about this before. I hate where, we get celebrated on one day, and it's not we. I mean, I don't generally wear it on my sleeve too much. I do have flags and stuff in the background, but when I'm out of the house, I mean, most people don't even know that I've ever even served unless I bring it up. Which is cool. Some people wear it on their sleeve, which I totally appreciate, and it's part of their identity.
Yeah.
Whether they were in 2, 4, 20 years, doesn't matter. And some just kind of reservedly so, they talk about it, they don't talk about it. It's all good.
And families too. I mean, that's kind of been broken, but when we grew up, it was like, Grandpappy served in World War I, Pappy and they're Vietnam, and it sort of went on. I feel like that's Desert Storm a little bit, but I feel like the generational thing isn't what it used to be back in the day. But in the presentation, they had everyone stand up, and they were like, all the Marines stand up, all the Coast Guard, which I don't think was anybody, but and it got to the Army, and there was an old, you would have loved this, the guy looked like he had 8 packs of cigarettes before he came to the presentation.
That's awesome.
Grizzled old guy, Vietnam vet, and had what I thought looked like to be like an old Army Rangers fatigue on. And he was one of those in it. That dude wears that thing probably every day and shows off his veteran pride.
Love it.
With bells on. So you missed me last week?
Freaking love it.
I was out.
No, we missed you. Had a good time. Don't get me wrong. Had a really good time. Talked a little bit about the Amazonification of the hiring process, the possibility of that. Got into a couple of discussions on LinkedIn around that. I mean, it was really a big topic, and it's something that we're going to talk about in the coming weeks as we get into our road show, our road trip too.
Yeah, our road show, which we'll get into, I think, in shout-outs. But anything else? I mean, lots going on. I don't know if you covered. I mean, tariffs, 50-year mortgages, new STEMI checks.
Yeah, I mean, 50-year mortgages. Yeah, 50-year mortgages just came out. The whole gay marriage thing. I'm so glad that the Supreme Court just cut that off. Decision's been made. I mean, let that shit go.
Yeah.
But 50-year mortgages. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, people aren't buying homes until they're 40 now. Now their argument's going to be, well, that can push it down. Well, I mean, you push it down to 35, right? 50, 85 before you, I mean, or 80, let's say, before you pay it off. And then you take a look at the interest and the actual interest payment and how much you will be paying over 50 years is going to be 4 times that. I mean, this is nothing but good for banks. This is great for banks. This is not good for people. This is not good for citizens.
Oh no. Banks would take $1 a month for the rest of your life and your children's lives if they
Easily
could. But yeah, it's I think it's like 10 years. It's like $2,000 equity in your house because you've been paying interest on it for so long.
Yeah.
And did you see Trump's truth post? He had FDR 30-year mortgage, and then he had Trump 50-year mortgage, as if to somehow connect him to FDR in some form or fashion.
Well, and it's interesting too, because FDR, one of the biggest socialists of our time. I mean,
huge.
Yeah, I mean, so to be able,
the Great Depression led to FDR.
This literally just demonstrates how much Trump doesn't know and or understand history. Is one aspect. 30-year mortgage versus 50 versus, I mean, the actual comparison between an FDR and a Trump. Now, he would love to get that 12 years. I mean, he did 12 years elected into office. FDR didn't get all 12 years. But he would love that. That's another comparison that he would love too, I'm sure. Over 80% of you watching right now, you watch over and over. We know you do, but you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed. Let's do that. Let's do that now.
What do you think about the tariffs? You talk about the Supreme Court and gay marriage. What do you think Supreme Court's going to land on tariffs?
I think that the opening arguments are kind of like a way to get us all excited about the process of them going away, and then they don't. It is way too much power for one branch, the executive branch, to have. Something that they definitely brought up. The thing is, SCOTUS, in this case, could literally save the economy by killing those tariffs. SCOTUS would save the economy, not Trump with these stupid fucking tariffs, which are killing us right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to kill us for years. So SCOTUS could actually save us. Will they? No fucking clue. And good God, man, my brain's going to hurt thinking about if a very heavily Republican conservative court actually does that or not. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're toast. Listening to the opening remarks, like the first argument by the Trump team was sort of squashed by the Supreme Court, and they had to shift to like a different argument. And so, like, I don't see how you get out of this. This is a tax that constitutionally is a Congress thing. I mean, the president should not be allowed to say, "Oh, Canada, nice commercial. I'm going to add 10% to your tariff." Like, that's not how this works. And I have this discussion with my wife all the time, who's like super liberal Canadian, and America's like, it's dead, it's crumbling. And I keep saying, like, the institutions are going to hold. Trust me, like, they're going to hold. And in my defense, the Supreme Court kind of holding firm on some of this stuff. And I do think that Trump's hold on Congress as we go into an election cycle is going to start weakening, and he's going to be lame duck before you know it. He's not going to run for a third term. I don't see that happening. So I'm kind of optimistic on a Veterans Day that the third branch of the government is kind of holding firm on some of these issues.
I hope so. They've blown through so many of the backstops already. We need to have one of them catch. I mean, we have to have one of them catch. So let's hope it's this one. Let's hope it's this one.
Yay, founding fathers. Yay, dead white people. Yay, dead white people.
They who are turning in their graves right now saying, what are these fuckers doing?
Yay, dead presidents.
Okay, shout out.
Dead presidents.
Is it time for shout outs?
All right, Chad, I got one for O'Dolly's Lounge and Restaurant. What the hell is O'Dolly's Lounge and Restaurant? Well, you saw the UPS plane go down last week. I don't know if you guys talked about it on the show or not. So anyway, this plane crash, although being a disaster and sad moment for a lot of families and people, the crash happened very close to a restaurant called Stooges Bar and Grill in Louisville. Well, as you can imagine, no one's working at Stooges Bar and Grill anymore, at least for the time being. So O'Dolly's Lounge, which is nearby and still open, is now offering the workers from Stooges Bar and Grill to come work for them as a backstop for their revenue and the salaries that they're missing out on. The owner of Stooges, or O'Dolly, Debbie Self, started a GoFundMe. If you guys are interested in supporting that cause, you can go to GoFundMe, search Stooges Bar and Grill, and you can find out more about that. Some of these families, according to the owner, have been there for 20 years. It's a family institution. Now, I went and looked up Dolly's and Stooges. Stooges is a little bit like Hooters, a little bit Twin Peaksy. So, a feel-good story, sure. And if you go to O'Dolly's, this is like South Side Louisville. If you don't know Louisville very well, the East Side's nice, downtown's okay, but like South is, redneck, and it's Coors Light and PBRs. And so if you go to O'Dolly's, on the menu there's a item called the Spicy Double D's. I'll leave it up to you to decide what that is, or you can just go Google it. But yeah, between Spicy Double D's and some Hooters workers, like, people are joining forces to help this cause. So shout out to O'Dolly's Lounge and Restaurant to be the support for the ladies and other workers from Stooges Bar and Grill. We love
Double D's, the support. That's a lot of support for Double D's.
I want to know if our man Matt Lavery ever ventured into Stooges Bar and Grill or O'Dolly's in his time at UPS. Unfortunately, we can't ask him.
I'd have to imagine. I kind
of had this vision of Mr. Lavery enjoying some Double D's down at Stooges at some point.
I mean, it's on the menu. Why not?
We're in the jersey, baby. We're in the jersey.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull two together. We've got a shout out, and we're going to talk about
speaking of
travel.
Double D's.
That's right. Travel, of course, sponsored by Shaker Recruitment Marketing. Whenever we travel, we take a little shaker with us. And you can too. Just check them out at shaker.com. So my shout out this week is to this week's road trip. Dude, I'm pretty damned excited for the next two RL100 events in San Diego and Dallas. If you're an HR practitioner in or around San Diego or Dallas, you might be able to, there might be some seats left. I'm not 100% sure. Might have to ask Jamie, but you can go to chadcheese.com and register. Actually have a register link on the header. I'm a big fan of closed door sessions with directors, VPs, and heads of talent where we can have no bullshit discussions about, as I had said earlier, the Amazonification of hiring, browser wars, the economy, and how all those things might and are already impacting the world of work. So really excited about that. Can't wait for a little cheese time. Love time events. With cheese.
Oof, events. Where are we going, boys?
Love events. Almost as much as free stuff, Chad.
Oh, I love some free stuff.
As free stuff. Let's hear about free stuff from our kilted wearing, barrel chested friend, Stephen McGrath.
Hi everybody, it's me, Stephen McGrath, and I'm here to tell you all about how you can grab some free stuff from chadcheese.com.
Is he wearing a kilt?
Now, you might be wondering why I'm sitting here topless. And the answer is really simple. Because I've not grabbed my free t-shirt from App at chadcheese.com yet. Let me fix that. Right, that's better. So I'm sporting a slightly vintage model here, but of course there are new and updated designs every year. And those are super soft, breathable, and some might even say huggable.
I would.
Now, what else can you get? Of course, you can get some craft beer. It's not just any regular rubbish beer. That's craft beer brought to you by the data geeks at Aspen Tech Labs. And if you're not into beer too much, then... Oh, 2 seconds. I'm just going to get that. Then, of course, you can always go for chicken cock, baby. 2 bottles of chicken cock from the good old people at Van Hat. Now, you're not going to get any of this stuff unless you go to chadcheese.com/free and try and get yours today.
He always comes through. Always comes through.
Yeah, if you need a reason to watch the show, that might be it.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's not Scottish, it's crap!
Oh, thank you, Stephen, for that. That made my day. I hadn't seen that. That was a surprise for me. So that's
new. You're welcome.
Nice. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, that sound must mean it's time for our fantasy football update, sponsored by our friends at Factory Fix, Chad. And speaking of Steven, he's moving up the ranks, and he's now lobbying the lower level teams to trade him their best players so that he can be a winner in the game. But here's our leaderboard from first to worst. We got Courtney Napo, Mackenzie Mad Dog Maitland, and Jada Weiler in the top 3. The women are crushing it this season. The women are crushing it. I'm at number 4, hanging on to that last playoff spot. Stephen McGrath coming up strong, followed by David Stiefel, Megan Radigan, William Carrington. You're at the number 9 spot. Ginger Dodds, Jason Putnam, and what a surprise, Jeremy Roberts, not so proud Texan, coming up at the 12th spot. He is winless, by the way. Winless. Wow. I'm going to start lobbying for somebody to just phone it in for Jeremy so he can have at least one win this year.
We could do LinkedIn polls. Who should Jeremy start this week? Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of losing, let's talk
playoffs.
Oh, God. Layoffs. Okay. All right. First off, Munich-based Personio has announced another major round of layoffs and the closure of its U.S. operations, marking its 3rd significant workforce reduction in less than 2 years. The company confirmed that 165 employees, or about 10% of its global workforce, were laid off as part of its effort to reach profitability by next year. Not to be outdone, Indeed has, quote, made the difficult decision to eliminate a very small number of roles, end quote, but an exact number has not been disclosed per a Business Insider story. But wait, Chad, there's more. You dropped Stephen on me. I'm going to drop this one on you. A handful of disgruntled Condé Nast employees confronted HR chief Stan Duncan about the company's recent decision to shutter Teen Vogue, one of your favorite publications, Chad, Teen Vogue. Yeah. Check out the video from this altercation.
Congregating here. What counts as congregating? I'm sorry? What's your definition of congregating?
So everyone, we'd appreciate if you would go back to the workplace where you're...
Is there a place that you would be able to speak to us?
Not today. We have other things going on.
Do you think we're not worth speaking to, Stan?
Those are your words, not mine.
But they might be your beliefs.
They're not my beliefs.
Oh, okay. So you do think we're worth speaking to?
Everyone should go back to your workplace.
I work here.
You dismiss us instead of talk to us.
You told us that we had to come work in person here 4 days a week. This is our work. Stan, are you running away from us?
No, I'm directing you back to your place of work.
Where's my place of work?
Dan is hating life.
You can just go this way, you guys.
What a ballers fuck.
No,
I'm in a meeting. I'm working.
Okay, well, we have some quick questions. If you answer them, we'd be happy to go back to our desks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't want to answer any questions?
I've directed you back to your workplace.
I've directed.
Is that a good answer, guys?
Absolutely not. Come on, Stan.
Not a really good answer, Stan.
We're concerned about our colleagues.
Yeah,
we're concerned
about our job.
You're disengaging with the employees who work here.
Did you like the OT and vote? What are you going to do to stand up to the Trump administration?
What are you going to do to stand up to the Trump administration? Yeah. So these Teen Vogue workers, it could be called, I don't know, sandbagged. Stan wanted to show up, talk about the closing down, where their jobs, and that was his sort of caught off guard reaction. But this is what HR, corporate America, is dealing with. These sort of video, social media shares, episodes. Anyway, layoffs, Teen Vogue. Any thoughts on the news of some layoffs in our industry and abroad, Chad?
Yeah, Personio is interesting because obviously, they've been trying to, come to America, trying to be able to penetrate this market. And it's odd that they would go ahead and retract. I know that, it's not a great market right now, but to be able to really, they're signaling defeat in the US, and it's going to be interesting to see how they try to come back, because they're going to have to. They're too big not to be able to try to come to a market this size. On the Condé Nast side of the house, if you're a CEO and you can't talk to your people, then you're worthless.
He's head of HR. He's not CEO.
Oh, well, then worse.
Yeah.
Then worse.
That's even worse. Yeah.
Then worse. If you were head of HR and you can't talk to your people, human resources, fire yourself. There's no reason for that piece of shit to be around. I'm directing you back to where you work. Fuck you, Stan. Go ahead and fire me and tell me what my severance is, asshole.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's tough to be in the media business, by the way, this time of year. Personio is huge. Like this, to me, this is really this is a big story. We're talking about a company that's raised just short of $1 billion, of $8.5 billion valuation, made big waves not that long ago about we're coming to America. This is a thing. This is I think German company, which should have their shit together and know what they're doing. Not to be nationalistic, but
it's kind of hard
for that. To me, it's like Deal and Rippling own it. Like everyone that has sort of come in as a wannabe Deal Rippling solution, and Personio was one of them. I think them leaving the US is a big vote of confidence for Deal and Rippling. All the others that have come along, same thing. So to me, that's really big news, because if you depart the biggest economy on the planet after having the kind of money that they've had invested, that's like a big thing. Indeed, I think it's fewer developers. I know the job board doctor, close to your heart, talked about the mentorship programs and that sort of falling through, which says they need fewer people to do the development stuff that's going on there. I know that they've launched, or that they've really gone in on Salesforce agents at the company. So that's that. Condé Nast, I think it's a symbol of the times, and if you employ younger people, like, expect to be on camera, expect to be sort of, where's the transparency, where's the truth, like, just tell. And I love the comment about, like, you told us to come in 4 days a week, we were working from home, probably, whatever, and then now it's like, and now we're done. So you brought us in, we made life changes probably, and now this has happened. So yeah, not a good look for Condé Nast or Teen Vogue, one of my favorite publications as well. Chat has you. All right, kids, you want Indeed? We got the meats today, baby. Let's start with some Indeed Connect conversation. We got our grubby little hands on a presentation, Chad, being shown to Indeed customers and prospects, touting all the shit they're hoping to ram down your throats in 2026, also known as Indeed Connect. The deck that we received was entitled Innovating for the Future. That's an original title. It outlines Indeed's strategic pivot, a new set of solutions for 2026, and how they plan to optimize their customer relations in the coming year. Chad, what were some of your takeaways from the presentation?
So it's interesting, just to be clear, I received 5 different decks from a bunch of different sources, because and they were all different, which is one of the reasons why we're not showing this, because we don't
drastically
want to actually,
different or vaguely
yes,
different.
Yeah. No, they were different, and they were put together specifically for the individual who was receiving said presentation. And it's interesting on what was not there versus what was there, right? Versus, some others. So anyway, so Indeed is talking about this new product called Connect, right? And it's something that's really supposed to be focused on innovation and unlocking innovation and all these wonderful things that Indeed's been talking about for years. But Indeed Connect isn't innovation. It's more like velvet handcuffs for an Indeed Connect jail cell. Indeed will try and sell it as the next generation of hiring, AI-powered insights, smarter matching, seamless ATS integrations. But beneath the gloss, it's nothing more than a clunky 1997 job board experience with a new name and a new paint job, all polished up for the investor deck. And here's where they're tightening the cuffs, kids. AI exclusivity. You don't get innovation, you buy it. Exclusive access to basic tools like candidate summary and knockout questions are available only in a pay-to-play kind of scenario. And get the history lesson ready, kids.
Time for a history lesson.
So Monster.com rolled out its patented 6-cent search technology, which was developed through its acquisition of Trovix Inc. On February 1st, 2010. It was semantic search, really the first of its kind in the job board space, and a huge upgrade from their normal search experience that everyone else had already caught up to. But instead of making this new tech a default part of the experience and really upping Monster's game, guess what they did? They charged for it instead. So you couldn't actually gain that premium experience, that big differentiator, market differentiator, unless you paid for it. Nobody used it and it died. Indeed is trying to do the same thing, taking basic upgrades and charging as a premium. So let's move on to the marketplace side of the house. Their benefits, which is more of like a glass door move. You can brand your jobs right before your competitors start running ads on your company page hosted on Indeed. So Indeed, go figure, they've got these company pages, which everybody has had for decades, right? Now, you can pay, yes, you have to pay to ensure that your competitors' jobs are not listed on your page. It's not innovation. It's a fucking shakedown, right? Yeah. And then there's a data grab. Indeed wants your hiring signals, your disposition code, your private performance data, all to fine-tune their algorithms and their revenue metrics, not your success. Then there's the average revenue per job posting smoke show that we'll talk about in the next segment. But all the preferred terms, exclusive tools, and smart matching are nothing but a Farrah Fawcett poster for your Indeed Connect jail cell, a glossy illustration why they tighten control over their very ecosystem they fucking broke. Indeed Connect is a pair of velvet handcuffed, locked jail cell, and the only thing that is free is your data in their system. It's a fucking mess.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
So as you were saying, this was sort of a sideshow. I thought of jazz hands as you were saying it. I didn't interrupt you because you're on a roll there. I'll preface my comments with a recent interview that Deco did with Fortune. Deco won't come on our show, but he'll go to Fortune. And hat tip to the reporter at Fortune, who asked him if he sees a world in which agents operating on behalf of both employers and job seekers will eventually be able to negotiate salaries and job titles without human interaction, which is what I basically my comment on their work, whatever annual event. Deco laughed, according to the report, and said, quote, "That would be fantastic." There's more, there's nuance. But the reality is, I really believe there are things human can do way better. Now, we love it when the CEOs say the quiet part out loud. Deco could have said, "Oh, that's ridiculous. No way are we ever going to replace human beings, recruiters." And like, he could have spun it as, we're not even thinking about agents talking to agents. But he said that would be fantastic, which means he's at least thinking about it, and he's publicly willing to say that he's thinking about it.
Yes.
So to me, this whole Connect, Talent Scout, whatever Scout thing that they have, this is all laying the groundwork for an eventual future that they see of job seeker agents and employment agents doing the whole heavy lifting of the interviewing and all that process until they can hand you off on a silver platter staffing agency style to the company, and then get the disposition data from the ATS to then charge you for a higher a la staffing firm. So this was like part carrot and part stick. The carrot part was the integrate with us, join us, right? It was the Yoda, Darth Vader, get the platinum Amex card. This is what this is. You're going to get shit that nobody else gets if you do this stuff. And here's
if you
benefits.
Pay for it.
Here's but you pay for the platinum, right? But it's worth it because you're getting all this shit. So part of it was like, you're going to be special. Right. And then they threw in the stick. Yeah. And the stick was, you mentioned, pay for this market shit or your competition's jobs are going to show up when people search for jobs at your company. We'll make them disappear if you pay the money. But if not, you're going to have to compete with all the other people that are trying to get those jobs when they search for shit at your company. The advanced sourcing stuff felt like it should be rebranded like pink slip screening, because all the recruiters, that's what you're going to get when you use this product is your pink slip, because they won't need you anymore when this shit gets automated and they can source all the candidates from your ATS and from Indeed. So to me, that was maybe even a little bit of Trojan horse with the carrots and the sticks. The other thing I've heard about vaguely is that the contract thing is relatively new at Indeed, if not totally new. Like, people aren't used to signing contracts, from what I understand, in this fashion with Indeed. So they're throwing in the whole like LinkedIn now contract 12-month commitment thing, which I've heard a few people say that that's not generally their style. So they're kind of slipping that in under with all the jazz hands and what they're doing. So make no mistake, this is part of a worldview by Indeed and Recruit Holdings that eventually the people part is going to be gone, in my opinion. I don't have proof of that, but that's just my take after 25 years of being in this business. They want to replace everybody.
Yeah. Well, so to your carrot and the stick, what they're doing is they're showing you a carrot and then they're hitting you with the stick. You're not getting the carrot. You're getting hit with the stick. That's all there is to it. Now, last week we actually talked about, Scott Galloway says it all the time that, your job's not going to be taken from, by a person or by AI. It's going to be taken by a person who knows how to use AI. Mm-hmm. And my response was bullshit. That's step number one.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
Step number one is that your job could prospectively be taken by somebody who knows how to use AI. Step number two, that person using the AI is training their replacement. That's step number two. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. So all of these rich guys who are saying that AI is not going to AI, they're trying to stay away from the pitchforks. Okay. That's what they're doing. It's all bullshit. They want you to train the AI. Everybody's saying the AI is not ready for this yet. No, it's not ready for this yet. You're right. Have we seen how fast this shit has gotten good, has gotten great, has gotten better? It's just going to happen that way. Right. So yeah, I think from the carrot stick standpoint, they're showing you the carrot. They're hitting you with the stick. You're not going to get the carrot, motherfuckers. You're not. Whether you're an agency, whether you're a direct employer, and agencies, come on, guys. You know what they're doing. They're cutting your commissions. They're putting new sales plans in front of you to hit certain goals. And then if you do that, then you can keep your commissions. If you don't, then you lose commissions. And it's different from agency to agency. And that's how, instead of trying to standardize this, they're doing this different from agency to agency because first and foremost, they don't want to piss the big ones off. The little ones they don't give two fucks about.
Yeah,
secondarily,
big sticks for those guys. They're getting big sticks.
Secondarily, they don't want guys like us to know that there's a standard because if there's a standard, then wow, that's going to be something entirely different too, right? So that, and then they're already going directly after your clients. You think that's going to stop? No. So yes, all of this is happening and companies left and right. And we're talking to big enterprise companies who literally are saying, hey, we're trying to cut Indeed spend. And one of the things that Matt and I talked about behind closed doors was his ability to cut Indeed spend last year and how he was going to continue to do that this year and the year after. Unfortunately, he left this earth, not because of that, but just because he left. We miss a friend, but there are many companies that are doing that right now. And the disposition data piece is going to be a non-starter for many companies, especially that have to go to attorneys and ask their internal legal, if it's okay. Yeah. Good luck with that shit.
Yeah. It's a race between how fast can I get off the Indeed teat and how fast can Indeed boil the frog, if you will.
Yeah.
If you will.
Fucking ridiculous.
I quote Deco, it would be fantastic if we own the whole thing, but it's not going to happen. Guys, if you like what you've listened to, please give us a follow or review, like whatever. We'll come back with some more Indeed goodness.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the application to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement? Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
I don't know if Indeed and goodness go together. We'll have to look at that.
Depends on who's watching. Anyway, guess who's got a new KPI, Chad? That's right. Indeed.
Tell me.
Indeed introduced ARPJ, a new KPI tracking revenue per job posting. Revenue per job posting. I'll say it again. Up 15% in Q2 and 13% in the first half of the year. It signals aggressive pricing ahead as paid ads remain under 25% of U.S. postings. Chad, we know you're down with OPP, and we know we're both old enough for AARP, but what are your thoughts about Indeed's new ARPJ?
Stop saying that. Okay, so I think it's amazing out of nowhere. Indeed suddenly wants to talk about their new magic metric ARPJ. I mean, the average revenue per job posting thing. It's not a metric. It's a fucking magic trick. They get on these investor calls and brag, even with fewer job postings, our revenue per posting is going up. And Wall Street applauds while Indeed pulls a rabbit out of their fucking ass. But here's the number of jobs they're dividing by, the denominator. Indeed controls all of that. If you want the average revenue to go up, they just stop the free flow of jobs, the free jobs that are actually coming into the system. Smaller denominator, boom. ARPJ looks great. It's soaring. Now, if they want to cool it off a little bit so they don't look like they're, price gouging, well, then you just allow a few more jobs into the feed, right? It's not a signal of value. It's a lever they can pull to raise rates and drive quarterly earnings. That's why Wall Street loves it, right? Employers won't see this metric on their invoice. They won't see it at all. But what they will see is higher costs, less organic reach, and more pay-to-play pressure, which we just talked about. They're making people pay for everything, and it's basic shit, which we just talked about on the Indeed Connect segment. So this is what I would like to call thermostat monetization. They just set the temperature, they control the flow, and you're sweating looking at that monthly invoice on the other end of it. So it's a Wall Street metric that will hammer Main Street. So yeah, when you hear ARPJ is up double digits, what you should really hear is we've throttled the free stuff again. Get ready for higher prices. This is market manipulation at its indeedest.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Whenever you hear a company, so there are two things. Either they stop reporting on things that like maybe iPhone sales or whatever, and then they sort of they spin it as something else. If after they stop reporting on it, that's when some red flags should be lifted. And to me, this is like a big flag in Indeed's model, not necessarily their profitability, but in their model. And what it says is the model of job postings is breaking down. I think you and I have talked about the commoditization of job postings for a very long time. And these guys are going to be the last ones to kind of enjoy any kind of premium that was ever on job postings. I was on stage with Jeff Taylor at ERE this week, and we went down little memory lane shit, and talking about how much that they thought they would be getting per job posting, back in the 90s and early 2000s when they thought they were going to own the whole industry. $5,000 a job, like those days never came to fruition, and they never will. So Indeed, and really, I don't know, everyone in this space is trying to figure out. We're going away from a volume dependency to a quality focus. So the spin is, no one's posting jobs like they used to, and they're not paying for the jobs if they are posting them like they used to. And people so we're not making the money that we used to on job postings and the volume and getting tons of people there to apply, because now there are bots applying and everyone's like, holy shit, all these applications. That model doesn't work anymore. So now it's a quality value focus. So let's change the narrative. Instead of applies or clicks or views, it becomes this shit. It becomes average revenue per posted job.
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean? It means a lot of gray area where I can spin shit and give you some mumbo jumbo voodoo economics, and you're going to go, okay, because you think we're smarter than you because we're Indeed, and you're going to go along with it. And unfortunately, 80% of probably everyone who buys this shit is going to go along with it and feel comfortable with it. But make no mistake, the traditional model of job postings is breaking down, and they're spinning a new model, a value model, in this case, the Connect stuff, the Scout stuff. And we've talked in the past about cost per interested job seeker or active job application, interested.
Apply.
Yeah, start apply. Like they've thrown these kind of weird metrics and titles and definitions around forever. This is just the latest one. Whatever. It'll be something else next year, and we'll make fun of it then. But look, this is a little bit of desperation. I'd love to be in the strategy meeting. Like, what the fuck do we call the thing now to get people confused and obfuscate and whatever. So this is what they've come up with. This is either going to be a huge hit for Indeed. They're going to like get into X amount of ATSs and disposition data is going to take off, or their business is going to be really, really challenged in the years to come.
Yeah, I think obviously I've said it before. I think any company who gives them disposition data, they're idiots. I mean, there's no reason to have that down funnel, those signals down funnel, when what they're talking about is matching at the top of the funnel. All you need is requirements for that. That's what you need. So you need to be better at matching. And they're talking about how their matching is going to be so much better. That's total bullshit. Not to mention, if you think about it, applicant tracking systems, and let's just take a look at one applicant tracking system by itself, iCIMS, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. So iCIMS has thousands of customers. They have to do this integration with every single one of these customers. And they think that one API is going to be the answer to that, which is total bullshit. We all know APIs break. We all know that applicant tracking systems break shit when they do maintenance. We also know that every single one of those iCIMS customers, or that applicant tracking system customers, they have different apply paths a lot of times. I mean, so it's entirely different. Not to mention how many fucking recruiters actually hit the disposition code or put in the information to be able to provide the signals in the first place. So this just demonstrates to me, these motherfuckers don't even know the problems that happen down funnel, right? This is fucking stupid. Now back to the average job posting. Andy McKelvey and Jeff, I think back then they actually had a number for this, but the thing is, this was a real view, right? Because every job that was on Monster was paid for. So therefore you could actually see through the big contracts and what they were paying versus the small guy and what they were paying per posting, that kind of thing. You could get a really good idea on an average, like a mean, right? That was true. That was real. That was something that you could literally give to Wall Street, and it's not bullshit. This is total, complete, utter bullshit, because there's so many free jobs that are in the system. That's a manipulation. You can go ahead and say, oh, damn, a few thousand companies didn't get their stream in today. Or let's say, for instance, some of the bigger companies, 10,000 jobs didn't make it today. How does that actually manipulate the actual average? It does, right? So if we want to talk about, this is again just Wall Street bullshit. This is magic. This is pulling a rabbit out of their ass. This is not real. Andy McKelvey wanted to get to $1,000 a job. He always talked about that in meetings. I remember that. I remember that so vividly, right? Yeah. But they had a true and real metric. This is not a true and real metric. This is total bullshit. And this is a great way to be able to manipulate driving prices up whenever the fuck you want to.
Yeah. And if Google had ever become Google, Monster may have been 1,000 plus per posting at some point, because they were hoping to be a monolithic brand. They wanted to be Coke for all jobs, and it didn't work out that way. But that was at least the idea, and it made sense. We're having a hard time making sense of this shit. I really wonder if I think Wall Street has bought into this because they do think that companies are going to get away from recruiters and like this whole process, and they believe that this agent to agent thing is going to be huge. They also think AI is going to be huge, and that could turn out to be false. But I think they're betting on, and people are going to use Indeed to like without people bring people into the company.
Yeah, but this whole metric doesn't fucking matter at that point. I mean, if it's all agent focused,
it's all bullshit right now. It's all bullshit until the worldview of Deco comes to play, when it's all bots interviewing bots, robots.
Yeah, but if it is bots interviewing bots, job postings don't fucking matter, because what you do is you hit literally, you don't hit a job posting, you hit a goddamn agent, and the agent goes out.
Recruitment doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it's just it's recruitment. It's just a process, right? Yeah. And the process changes, which means what they're actually doing in this entire segment of the connect piece and this new metric is literally it's old, and it's not even built for today. It's not even built for today. They want to build for tomorrow and innovate. That doesn't even work for today. This is dumb.
It's jazz hands. It's Trump. It's like, what's the fire to put out today? What's the new product today? What's the thing today? And it's just like, just keep people's attention somewhere else and what's new and what's going on. And I don't even have time to keep up with this stuff. And I got 80 vendors I got to deal with. And I got 100 calls from new vendors I got to talk to.
Why you need a good
call
agency.
Whatever you want. What do I owe? Whatever. Like, they rely on people being too busy to deal with this shit. And as companies get leaner, fewer people can focus on this stuff and they can be more manipulative and obscure. Anyway, guys, if you're not watching us on YouTube, what the hell? I don't get it. We're so good looking. Check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/@ChadCheese. And we'll be right back with more sun-filled silver lining news. Put on your rose-colored glasses.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
Well, Chad, in case you missed it, times are tough out there for a pimp. Some recent headlines include, quote, "It's Trump's economy now and Americans don't seem to love it. Nearly all U.S. workers say their wages haven't kept up with the cost of living." And one of my favorites, job cuts in October hit highest level for the month in 22 years. But things may have finally gone too far, Chad, as restaurants are feeling the effects of a challenged economy. Check out this recent story by ABC News on all the badness.
Now to the economy, where there are troubling signs in the restaurant industry as consumers are tightening their belts and eating more at home. Elizabeth Scholze breaks down the numbers.
Hey, Rachel, the cost of going out to eat is up almost 4% over the past year, outpacing the price of groceries. And now some popular restaurant chains say that they are noticing customers pulling back. Salad chain Sweetgreen is the latest to sound the alarm about younger consumers, reporting that people between the ages of 25 and 35 dropped their spending by 15% in the last 3 months. Burrito maker Chipotle and the Mediterranean fast casual chain Cava made similar warnings about younger customers, pointing to the impact of inflation and student loan payments. And McDonald's, which can serve as a bellwether for the overall economy, says that lower income households are not visiting its stores as much. Now, all of this underscores a widening gap between higher income and lower income Americans. The top 10% of households right now account for almost half of all spending in the economy.
Bruh. Chad, I've been driving by Sweetgreen 2 times a week at least, and I don't know why I'm not drawing more attention and profits.
Big surprise. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on restaurants going to hell?
Well, I mean, look at it. First and foremost, inflation's up, tariffs are shit, health insurance is getting ready to either triple or quadruple. People who have assistance because they don't have jobs through SNAP, they're having problems getting that as well. Talking about 50-year mortgages, which means we're just going to be paying money on fucking interest. We can't afford food. Yeah. I mean, it's the very basic and simple understanding that you have to pay your people enough where they can pay for their shit and they can go buy stuff. That's how an economy works. They don't work when they're in the fucking dirt. They're homeless. And they don't have any money to spend. I mean, that's the biggest issue that we have right now. The disparity in the top versus the bottom and where the money's actually going. The entire economy is being held up by about, I don't know what fucking, at least the market is being held up by 10 companies.
Yep.
And then the actual economy is being quote unquote held up by just rich people who are buying shit.
Yeah.
That is not sustainable, right? That's not sustainable.
10% of the population is doing 50% of the consuming. That's a bad recipe. And like I've said before, once the stock market cracks, if this AI story falls apart and rich people feel less rich than they did before and stop spending, like shit's really going to hit the fan. I know you guys talked a little bit about the election in New York and some of the other elections around Virginia and whatnot. Like that was an affordability election. That was a young people pissed off that I can't afford shit anymore, whether it's, fuel, healthcare, housing, food, like all of it. And it's real and it's in the numbers. Like these restaurants aren't getting the traction that they used to. Wendy's was not mentioned, and they're closing 300 stores nationally, which breaks my heart in a few areas. Like little story about me, Chad. Little, not necessarily a history lesson, but we'll call it a history lesson.
For a history lesson.
So my father, who's going to be 86 next month, and totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but that's a different podcast. He used to take me to play basketball, and we'd play one-on-one, and he would never block my shot because he knew like he didn't want to take away my spirit or like, oh, screw this. He could have like rejected everything that I threw up there, but he didn't. And then we'd play basketball, and then after we were done, he would take me to Wendy's and get me a Frosty. So like I have really warm feelings about Wendy's, and maybe my weight problems go back then with my dad. The other story is my grandmother, who passed a few years ago, loved Wendy's, and her go-to was, I don't know if you remember this, they used to have the 99-cent value menu, and on this menu they had a Caesar salad, like a side Caesar, they had a baked potato, and they had the chili. And my grandma would always order those three things and a iced tea, and her meal was $4 or maybe less than that, because I doubt the tea was $1. But anyway, so I have fond memories of Wendy's, so it's always sad to see them decline because they are nowhere near what they used to be. I think Five Guys and Shake Shack have just totally destroyed what Wendy's used to be. But did you hear Trump talk about the Walmart that a Thanksgiving dinner now costs 25% less than it did last year or the year before? And they did a report on it saying
less items.
Yeah, it's like less items, no brand names. And a reporter pressed him on. He's like, that's fake news. Who are you with? NBC? Like that's fake news. So like Trump is trying to embrace this affordability message, but it's like people are hurting, man. We've talked about used cars. We've talked about like building new home builds. And now we're talking about fast food. If this bleeds up into the higher echelon, that 10% that's holding together 50% of the consumption, shit's going to get bad.
It's not sustainable. That's the thing, is that you can have that kind of arc in spend for 10% of the population. But you think about it, one billionaire, how many pairs of jeans is he going to buy? He's not going to buy enough pairs of jeans to be able to subsidize the entire fucking blue jean industry, right? That's again, you've got to be able to scale it with an economy of all of your citizens, not 10% of your fucking citizens.
By the way, I know I talked about farmers in a recent episode, and 60 Minutes did a special on sort of the farmers, the family farm, and and how they're hurting.
Fucking sad.
Incredibly sad. We do not want a world. We do not want a world with factory farms and a few companies owning all the land in the country. But we do want more dad jokes.
Yes, we need it. Need it.
And I'm here to give you a restaurant themed dad joke this week. Okay. Did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon, Chad? Great food.
I have not.
Great food, but no atmosphere.
That's good.
See you in California. We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. nacho, pepper jack, Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!